Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining this Telit webinar, the ultimate how-to guide for managing IoT devices at scale. I'm Amanda Flink, the head of global events here at Telit, and I will be your moderator today. And before we start, we'd like to gauge an idea of our audience's experience or interest in IoT data integration with enterprise systems. So if you could, please take a second to fill out our poll question, which you should see on your screen now. Now let's get to know our speakers. To explain this topic today, I'm pleased to be joined by two speakers. First, we have Bill Dykes, Product Manager for IoT Platforms at Telit. And second, we have Chris Trowbridge, Manager of Software Engineering at Embedded Planet. Just before I hand it over, Bill, to start the presentation, I've got a few quick reminders for our audience. We'd like to encourage you to interact by posting questions. We will have time to answer some of those at the end of the presentation. Simply submit a question by posting in the box to the right of the slides. Also, please be sure to check out the resources section in the upper right-hand corner of your screen for additional information. Finally, we will send out the presentation slides and a replay link to all attendees at the conclusion of the webinar. And with that, Bill, I will hand it to you. Bill, whenever you're ready.
Sorry, I accidentally muted. Good day, everybody. I'm going to give you a quick intro to Telit and our key IoT product, OneEdge, and Chris will then discuss how we all tie that into a way to improve managing your devices for scale and integrating it into large-scale IoT solutions. So what you need to, is it transferring? Amanda, it didn't move. Oh, there it goes. So what you need to know about Telit, and OneEdge is part of our software and hardware and connectivity portfolio of products that enable us to help you make your products wireless, help you connect them to the rest of the world, and then also once they're connected, manage them and collect the data from them and integrate that into large-scale IoT applications to help improve business processes and business activities. Telit has been around since 2000 and before, and we've had a number of key technology developments and in participating in what was previously known as the M2M space and has merged and evolved into IoT. Over time, on this timeline, you see we've added connectivity, IoT platforms, and other key technologies, culminating in 2019 with the launch of not just 5G modules, but our award-winning Telit OneEdge product line. And this is all part of our vision of the first mile. If you can see this environment of the first mile is the kind of the starting point. A legacy of the IT world is they looked at the things that are out in the field as the last mile, as the edge. And so the communications of connecting with them was the last thing they thought about. But nowadays, when you look at things from an IoT perspective, everything starts with the device. Everything starts with the systems that are at the edge, whether they be in agriculture, industry, factories, or energy utilities. The starting point is at the edge, and the edge can be as small as a temperature sensor moving through selected communication systems all the way up to a factory sitting at the edge. And we're all about helping to power that, enable that to happen. Now, these challenges that we help you address are fundamental to any business process. You want it to, and when you buy technology and you buy products and services, you want them to be easy to evolve You want them to be simple to maintain, and you want them to be scalable and sustainable. And what we've embedded in all of our products is culminated in the OneEdge product are all of these elements. It's a little slow on translation. There we go. So OneEdge addresses some key pain points that are inherent in those three things that we talked about before. Oops, and it went all the way through. So as you read through these items, there's a theme of security, maintaining the devices, provisioning, making sure that you can set them up. In a way, all of these lead to how am I quickly going to get my product and service to market? What's that time to the hockey stick? From the moment of design to the moment of launch and ramp up. And OneEdge is part of that. And we do that in a number of different ways to help address that, where we have faster implementation to accelerate that. Key technologies to help make your wireless connectivity faster, integrating the hardware and software together so that you don't have to, so that out of the box, the module and the platform all work together. And especially when it comes to you, it's already connected and configured at the factory securely. Plug and play for the enterprise. Once you have your system connected, how do you now deliver that data? And we have methods and technologies and integration points into key IT/IoT service providers such as Azure, such as IBM, such as AWS, and others also, key traditional IT middleware. We want you to be able to efficiently connect and make sure that it stays connected, especially in a cellular wireless environment. And then lastly, you want to make sure that you can monitor that and guarantee the quality of service, all doing that securely. So OneEdge was launched in the middle of 2019, and in that time, this last year, we've won six awards as product of the year, demonstrating both the vision and the vision and the capabilities. Sorry, the vision and the understanding of what the market needs. So this is the instantiation. This is what it means to have that first mile of IoT and bridging the gap. And we do that through edge intelligence, and there's a number of ways. First, we do that through OneEdge and our modules. Second, we also do it through key edge factory software that we have that connects to all kinds of industrial equipment. We then send that data across cellular networks that we have developed our own offerings in conjunction with the larger cellular providers, but we add through our IoT platform the ability to manage those systems in a better way at the individual device level. And then the software and the cloud enable us to connect to these key service providers on the right. To visualize that data, to manage that data, to normalize that data, following the metaphor of what used to be the business intelligence world that's now being immersed in the IoT world, the ability to extract, transform, and load so that your business applications or your clients' applications can gather and manage that data without having to have a huge burden in terms of the operational management. So I'm going to step through these. What does OneEdge encompass? So today we're talking about device management. So this is one aspect of what OneEdge does. But as we spoke about earlier, through the OneEdge is fundamentally a set of pre-configured Telit modules, and today it's our Cat-M and narrowband IoT modules that enable us to load specialized software that communicates across a lightweight end-to-end network protocol. And then we have within our portal the connection mechanisms and the ability to do zero-touch onboarding, do remote provisioning and configuration, monitoring and troubleshooting. And then we were able to add a little bit of intelligence at the edge so that you can define and build your edge apps so that you can manage data properly, reduce the usage, the utilization, and sending data. And from an embedded security perspective, we've added it's built into the factory so that when your device is built and your order is completed, it is already set up so that once it's installed in the product, it knows where to go boot up from and get configured automatically for connecting to the Telit IoT portal. And within that, as we spoke earlier, we have our connectivity service management, and lastly, the enterprise integration. So let's talk a little bit about device management. In the old days, the ability to manage large systems was didn't really have auto onboarding. It was very much a develop and build experience. Today, through device management, we've got to be able to do a number of things. We've got to be able to ensure that the device is up and the security of the device is protected and we can monitor it. We also need to ensure that it's working properly and securely after they've been deployed, and that includes battery levels, other resources. That's part of the ability to detect and monitor health, detect, troubleshoot, and manage the software and firmware on the devices. Increase our operational awareness, and then lastly, help to reduce the total cost of ownership. So device management is part of knowing what the device is doing and knowing the data about the device, as opposed to kind of an operational or data management perspective is collecting the data from the device. So I'm going to run through a few slides that talk. These are examples of the screens that are part of the OneEdge App Center apps. App Center is our specialized user interface that is customizable for individual customer applications, but it comes with Telit OneEdge device management, and these are the screens that you can configure for whether you're looking at your deployment, where they are. That map in the bottom shows where the items are. And then for a little bit closer look, you can see, let's see, here we go. Amanda, it's not moving for me. Hang on. Amanda, is the slide moving on your side?
Yeah, we can tell it OneEdge device management on slide 14.
Okay. Is it still there, or did it move to 15?
Yeah, 15. Now we're looking at Easy Photo app.
Okay. Not moving from my screen. Okay, so this is again more device management. Oh, the Easy Photo app is next. We have a built-in app that enables you to, with a wizard-like functionality, set up and identify the modules that you want to load new firmware with and pick from the system the appropriate firmware that needs to be uploaded and down to the device. Data integration includes the ability to go through our portal from the device You can utilize the data as you want in the system, treating the platform as what we call a data at rest, presenting a visualization capability, while you can also send the data to all of these systems that we label here, whether it be the ones I mentioned before, SAP, Oracle, AWS, or it can go to traditional middleware also. Model 2. Or in some cases, while we are acting as the device management system of the module, we're still communicating, we're collecting data about the device. We're not sending data from the device. That, in some cases, our customers like the data to go directly from the device into the system and utilize the Telit IoT platform with OneEdge as the system management tool. And in this case, they're not using the portal at all. I'm sorry, I'm having to read the slides. Okay, so in this particular case of the, as I'm having trouble here, I'm going to conclude with the OneEdge. So before we move on, so in this case, OneEdge is the tool, the software, the hardware, and the services that enable you to launch your OneEdge, your embedded system already out of the box, ready to communicate and be managed through the Telit IoT platform. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Chris.
Hello, thank you, Bill. This is Chris Trowbridge from Embedded Planet, and I was going to walk through just an example of how the OneEdge system works with some of our devices. We are a big partner with Telit, and we appreciate them having us on today, and want to give some real-world examples of how this can play out. First, just a little bit about Embedded Planet. We do custom hardware and software development, a lot of IoT work. Our cellular devices are based on Telit, done cellular, Wi-Fi, BLE, LoRa certifications, all those things. So if you have any of those questions, you can come and talk to us. So from a high level, what I wanted to show today is kind of how the whole stack works with a OneEdge device enabled. So we have a modem that has a Telit ME310 G1 on it that is OneEdge enabled. And using cellular Cat-M1 technology, it directly connects straight into Telit OneEdge, the backend. Then you can have secure cloud-to-cloud connections, like Bill was talking about, into your cloud backend infrastructure. For this example today, I'm using Microsoft Azure. But this is typically, from a high level, how the whole system would look. And you would have multiple IoT devices on the left for a real deployment. But just for this example, this is how things kind of look. So to start with, I have a device that has a temperature sensor on it and it's connected to my modem. And then when the property changes, the temperature value is now 30 degrees, something like that. The data is sent up via the Cat-M1 network to the Telit OneEdge cloud backend using the lightweight machine-to-machine protocol, LWM-to-M, that Bill was talking about. It's really the most efficient as far as power and data-wise for cellular deployments, so it's a really good system for these type of applications. So once the data gets into OneEdge, you have many choices of where you'd like it to go. You could push your data into Azure or Amazon Web Services, Google BigQuery. There's there's a whole slew of options here, as you can see. SAP, Slack, Teams, Twilio, send emails. You can even do straight up webhooks, REST API webhooks, MQTT. There's a lot of flexibility here because once the data is in OneEdge, you can forward it to wherever you need it to be, and securely too. So OneEdge uses a functionality that they call triggers in the cloud. So it's an event-based system where something happens and you can configure what happens when this event happens. Examples are a property changes, like I said, like temperature changes, or it goes over a threshold. So you can say, well, you don't need to alert the cloud backend until it's above 80 degrees C, then something's happening that we don't want to happen. Or because cellular modems have GPS a lot of the time, you can say when it leaves this geofence, hey, trigger something to happen, send an alert. Then another cool benefit of OneEdge is that it can manage your devices as well as your connectivity to those devices. Because of that, you can create triggers based on the connectivity of your devices as well. So say that the connection goes away and the device disconnects, you can have a trigger for that as well. Or if it uses too much data, you can have a trigger for that as well. So it's one portal where you can have triggers configured. It's not one for your data plan, one for your devices, one for where your data goes. You configure it all in one place. And so once we get this event happening of the property change hitting OneEdge, you have a trigger set up to look for that event, and then you push the data over into your cloud backend. And here I've used an event hub from Microsoft Azure. And I want to walk you through the steps of how to create a trigger, and it's really easy. As you can see, there's a developer tab in the Telit IoT portal, and you just click on the triggers button on the side here. And once you get to the triggers section, there is a new triggers button up in the top right that you can actually use pre-built templates. They have ones for, hey, your device disconnected, so send an email. Or you can build your own. And when you build your own, it's sort of it's a very nice graphical interface where you can drag and drop things and add connections and really customize it to be the exact logic that you need for your application. So just to walk through this process, first you just give the trigger a name, set the reporting mode so that you can say, hey, always happen, always try, always fire. And then you just click on the initialization, like what triggers this event to happen. So you pick the event type, and there is a whole bunch of different types of events. But for this example, I picked property change. I'm using the temperature change as the catalyst for this event. So you just fill in the information, very easy to follow. You can even have it based on tags. So one of the concepts that they've built into OneEdge is you can tag your devices. So say customer A. Customer A's devices are all this tag, or device model type B. Those are all tags. So you can kind of tailor your event triggers to the devices that you care about, and kind of segment your devices that way. So after you do that, you've got the green triangle set up, and from the left you pick an endpoint. And here I've picked Azure, and you can just drag and drop the blue box into the white area and connect the line, and it will set up the trigger that way. This is the configuration screen for the Event Hub. So you just fill in all the information for your Event Hub. You can get this from the Event Hub when you create it. in the Azure portal. And then if you look at the payload too, it's just a regular JSON payload. You can configure this however you want. There's suggested variables that get filled at runtime when the event happens. And then that is the data that gets delivered to the Event Hub. So from the Azure side, the Event Hub receives these messages. The device I have set up right now sends a new reading every 90 seconds, I believe. So every 90 seconds, a packet comes in from OneEdge into my Event Hub. And from there, I'm using a tool from Azure called the Data Explorer. And it's able to ingest the data coming from Event Hub. So you tie a secure connection between those two elements, and then it will store it. And it will also display it too in this dashboards feature. So it's actually really nice to it's like almost a whole package for quick IoT deployments if you want to just be able to see your data. And you can run queries with the new Custo query language. So here's this is a snapshot of the dashboard that I was talking about. And you can see it's graphing the data from my device here over the last hour or so. And this is showing here the whole end-to-end story for a device in a property change and how you can map your data, how you can store it securely in your own cloud backend. You don't have to rely on Telit or spin up some new database. You can use the tools that you're already using and keep your data where you'd like it. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Jerry Moffett from our Bennett Planet team.
Hey, thanks, Chris. My name is Jerry Moffett, Director of Sales and Marketing here. And what I want to do real quickly is go over our product portfolio that is OneEdge enabled out of the box. Our two staple main chip products you'll see at the top left and the top right. Top left is our Agora module based on Telit's ME910 module. And on the top right is our new Kronos modem based on the Telit ME310. What we have done with these certified modems is we can quickly spin up end device products, whether they be our own or customers' specific devices. And if you see in the middle, this is our mains power Bluetooth to Cellular Gateway, utilizing the Agora in a couple slides. And then in the bottom left is our connected vehicle platform that is based on our Agora modem. And in the bottom right, you see our new USB dongle that is based on the Kronos ME310. So more on the Agora. Agora is, like I said, based on ME910 C1WW, OneEdge enabled out of the box. It's quickly integrated into current systems via the Tectonic Edge, which is up at the top side of the modem, or we have a dual 10-pin on the bottom that can plug into a board. And then Kronos, this is the first to market based on the ME310, OneEdge enabled. What we did a little different is we added castellated edges so it can be soldered down onto the board. As well, it comes in an orderable part number with your dual 10-pin headers. From a development platform, on the left, we have Fleador. This is our Agora platform. And on the right is Atlas. This is our Kronos platform. Fairly easy to get up and running, start developing, as well as both of them you can take either the Agora or the Kronos off after you're done developing and plug it into your own system to do a POC. Both of them orderable on our website, as you see the link right there. And then lastly, our new Bluetooth to Cellular Gateway. This is based on the Agora ME910 WW and utilizes Bluetooth 5.0. With that, all of our products come standard. We offer customization to any of them. Like Chris said, we are a design services company as well as a IoT products company. All of our products are available in white label form, custom enclosures, or as is, as we sell them. I'll fire it back to you, Amanda.
Thanks, Jerry, and thanks, Bill and Chris, too, for the information. Before we get to the questions, I am going to drop one last poll on your screen. If you'd like to have one of our experts contact you, please respond here on the poll and someone will reach out to you. We do have time for questions now, and there is still time to ask a question, so please feel free to submit using the box to the right of the slide presentation, and we will do our best to cover it here. We've gotten quite a few so far, so I'm just going to jump right in. First question, are triggers created on a per device basis? For example, do I need to create a trigger for each device individually?
Amanda, I can take this one. No, you can use the tags feature that I was talking about, where you can kind of group your devices and set up triggers to use that tag, and that would be the best way I'd see to not be, creating a different tag for every device.
Thanks, Chris. This is kind of a follow-on to that, possibly. Can I integrate OneEdge and the trigger system with my custom cloud backend solution?
Yeah. So one of the options that you can use to forward the data is a regular REST API call. So like an HTTP get, put, post, delete. All of those are supported. So if you don't use one of the big three, Google, Amazon, or Azure, you can use just a regular HTTP call to get the data securely into your system, as well as MQTT. That's an option as well.
Great, thanks, Chris. Bill, I think this one might be for you. Is Telit OneEdge available on all Telit modules?
Yeah, and I see that there's also a question, another question that's asking why is it only available on Cat-M and narrowband IoT. Today we are expanding. It's not available on all, and as I said earlier, it's initially available on the narrowband and Cat-M, but shortly we will also have it on the Cat-1 module. So it will be expanded to others. If there's a particular business application that you have, it can be set up to be used on other modules. And we're expanding it as the different markets need it.
Great, thanks, Bill. Next question we've got, does the Telit platform work only with Telit modules, or is there a way to enable other systems to work over lightweight M2M with the platform?
So the lightweight M2M, no, we don't just work with Telit modules. The integration of OneEdge with the IoT platform is specific, but as a general platform for use for device management, data management, connectivity management, our lightweight M2M stack is standard. If you know anything or know background on lightweight M2M, it's got a number of standard objects or interface points, and then each vendor adds specific objects. But our software, our platform can communicate both through lightweight M2M and MQTT, traditional IoT protocols. So it'll work with a wide range of other modules and other devices, and can also work communicate through Wi-Fi and direct connect devices.
Great, thanks. Next question we've gotten here. What type of router systems are available to take BLE signals and push them through Wi-Fi or 4 or 5G networks? And do you think more commercially available solutions will become available in the near future?
So Embedded Planet does have the BLE to Cellular Gateway that Jerry mentioned. So that would be a good solution for that question.
Thanks, Chris. Let's see. We have got, do I need to use the Telit IoT portal to configure triggers?
No, actually. So the everything in that portal that I showed can be configured and controlled remotely from your application via REST API calls as well. So you don't have to physically go in and use the UI to generate the triggers that you would like to use. You can do that all from your application, and you don't have to log in every time.
Great. Next question. If I want to add a measurement from the connected product, can that be added from the OneEdge connection to the product?
What was the question again?
Yeah, if I want to add a measurement from the connected product, can that be added from the OneEdge connection to the product?
I'm not quite sure I understand the question. Chris, do you?
Yeah. So I think what you would do is you would use the benefits of the LWM2M specification, like Bill was talking about, where there are pre-configured, pre-spec'd resources that you can tie your data to. So, for example, temperature was one of them, and there's humidity, there's voltage, things like that. And then if there isn't one that meets the type of measurement that you have, you can create your own that are custom that then the back end would also understand as well. And you just update that resource, and then the back end sees that change. So yes, it's very easy. And to actually, one thing I didn't touch on, when you want to update an LWM2M resource, you can do that from within the module itself. They have AppZone as the developer. You can run your code on the module, or you can have a hosted solution where you have an MCU or some other device that just uses standard AT commands and instructs the module to update the resource itself. So there's a lot of flexibility there.
Thanks, Chris. Next question we've got here. Does OneEdge support eSIM, SoftSIM, SIMWise?
Yeah, it does through through the individual modules. That whatever if it's available on that module that we're doing.
All right. Let me just see if we've got any others in here. I think that may be all that we have gotten in the inbox here. Bill, Chris, I don't know if you have any final words to wrap us up here.
No, thank you for attending. If you have further interest in OneEdge, contact us or Embedded Systems to help you identify how we can implement it in your system.
Thanks, guys, and thanks to all who joined us today. Please be sure to check your inboxes in the coming days for the slides and replay link. Thanks, Bill, Chris, Jerry, and thank you all who joined us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.